was welcome in right now, our good friend out of Houston, Texas, the lovely, the talented, they say devastatingly handsome, and I'm not here to argue with them. Sean Salisbury. Good morning, Sean.
Yeah, just ask me.
Sean,
how you guys doing?
I'm pissed off, Sean. The whole, the whole LeBron decision part two. And, I knew I shouldn't have, but I was like, this would be the time to announce your retirement. And, maybe he wants a retirement tour. And then we were talking, you remember the movie A Christmas Story where he got the little decoder ring from Annie, and then he went up to the bathroom because, Randy had to take a dump and was banging on the door, and he's decoding the thing, and it's, don't forget to drink your Ovaltine. It was a crummy ad. I feel like we just got Ovaltined by LeBron James and Hennessy, Sean.
Hey, dude, don't speak for the rest of us. Don't put a we. Is there a mouse in your pocket? You mean you did?
I was the only one on the show, yeah.
Now, what we're in 2025? Dude, this is 2025. This week, now, if this was 2035, you could have made the decision. He ain't going anywhere anytime soon. His grandkid's going to play with him. He's still in such good shape. So, yeah, but you know what? He's clever at how to produce these things and make you wonder, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, in truth, the gotcha, but got him. It's kind of like that D's nuts joke, the guy when he said, got him. So it's okay. Hey, Dave, it's okay. Sometimes you just got to take the L and move on, man.
Yeah. He's not ready to yet.
I am taking, I'll take the L officially. Like I said, I'm now boycotting Hennessy. I didn't drink it. But
you basically, you know what happens with you can't boycott Hennessy. The drink's too good. But what happened is, the old school, you just got the old okey doke, man.
I did.
Hey, matter of fact, go buy a bottle and drown your sorrows, man.
I'm going to guess you didn't do any of this crap when you retired.
I'd have been the only one who showed up for it. You kidding me? Sean retired. Thank goodness. Who? Well, my own kids would have said, "Who's that?" Oh, that's my dad. Yeah, no. Yeah. I didn't get that, but I still. Let's listen. I retired. It doesn't matter what I retired from. You retired. I didn't know you were still working. I didn't know you were playing. So that would have been a great God rest his soul John Clayton line. Hey, John, I think I'm going to retire from football. Sean, I thought you did that a decade ago the way you play. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was prepared for it all, brother.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, we wondered about that. Yeah, so you just ended? You just stopped? It was over?
Well, yeah, what you do is you say, well, I've been in the league 10 years. There's a guy younger making less money that they want. Would you take? And you start to realize, man, it hurts a little bit more to get out of bed. And then somebody calls about a broadcasting job, and you say, I think I'm going to take that job. I'm done. Yeah, that's really the truth. For most of us, that's the way it is. You don't want to say your retirement because that's kind of self-serving. Well, I retired. Well, great, Sean. You retire if you're Tom Brady. The retirement is kind of a semi-forced retirement. Well, Sean, are people standing in line to sign you for $1 million? No. Broadcast ESPN called. Okay, well, I guess I'm retired. I still don't even know if I filled out my papers. I guess I have. Well, and my last season was 96. Yeah, that's kind of the way it goes. But when it comes to LeBron, that's kind of a big decision. But then he did not only retire, he's probably making how much money from, the endorsement that he's got. So that's kind of the way it works, guys. And I'm great at the time. Although I got one more throw in me somewhere as long as I don't get hit.
You were in the league 10 years, though. You got the Bofa pension, correct?
I haven't even started collecting it yet, so I'm going to ball hog that and be greedy one day when that comes around. So yeah, no, I'm good, brother. If you're saying the Bosa, I don't get that kind.
Not the Bosa.
I think you said the Bosa.
No, the Bofa. Bofa. B-O-F-A.
Yeah. Yeah, Bofa. I thought you were going to say Bofa D's nuts. I thought you were going to play that part on me. I'm prepared for anything from you, dog. So,
go ahead, Jason.
Sean, maybe we'll start here this week just because we've been talking so much from last Thursday to now at how on earth are the Niners 4-1? And logically, hey, look, they're going to get reinforcements back, and maybe it should even get better. But a guy like Mac Jones comes in there under Kyle Shanahan and plays some of his best football. How has this team done this?
Well, you know what's interesting? Let's just do a compare and contrast with them and like the Baltimore Ravens, who have been two fantastic organizations. That front offices have always been good, from Ozzie Newsome. Think about how good the Ravens, owners that kind of stay out of it. They let their people do it. They let their coach. They draft well, all those things, right? And so I'm just looking at the two because watching the Ravens and Texans play, think about the depth. And we all complain about depth. And great teams have great stars. But you know what else they have? Like the right guard gets hurt and another guy comes in. And now I understand when you lose somebody like Trent Williams or you lose a Fred Warner, if they weren't playing like last year when they went through all these injuries, that there's going to be a drop-off. I always laugh when people say, hey, man, you lost 7 players. Oh, well, we'll be okay. No, you won't. Of course, Roquan Smith, your Lamar's not playing, not going to be okay. But there is a gap that you want to get. You want to make it to where the backup and the starter, you'd like to hope that when you lose them all, you're not sitting in an office with the coaches and they're saying, we've got no shot to win, man. Hopefully we'll just survive. And the 49ers have done a good job, even though to some it may not look like, well, they don't have great players when the other guys are hurt. But they do have efficient enough players to do what they do and do what the system asks them to do. And when you don't have a major discrepancy, you can stay alive and fight. And a lot of it's at the quarterback position. And look what the 49ers have done. Hell, if you parlayed Mac Jones's numbers, guys, and his win-loss for 2 more weeks of let's say he played the whole season and Brock wasn't playing at the beginning, he's an MVP candidate. Look at his numbers, look at the wins and losses, and look at what he's done. It's been fascinating. It has. But other positions, too. And teams they just get it, and know how to win. And there's teams that know how to lose, unfortunately. The Ravens know how to win, but look at the discrepancy between their starters and backup. Even their starters weren't playing their best defensively. They were getting mauled at times. It just doesn't look the same there. For the 49ers, and I was one of them, I don't know, man, with all those injuries. And the last year, who are they this year? They were, and I said it on my show, I said, I don't know, for the first time in a decade, I don't know who the 49ers are yet. You know, the receiver situation. And you know what? They've elevated. If Kittle gets hurt, somebody comes in, makes plays, and you get a quarterback to calm it. And they probably didn't preach to their team, we're in trouble, like some of us thought. They probably preach, we're the 49ers, man. We expect to go out and win. We're going to go beat the Rams. We're going to do it. And I do believe that's part of the culture in the building. So we've always given them, oh, man, they're a favorite. They're going to go win it. Now at a time when we kind of downplayed it, they may not be very good. They're 4-1. Now, it's early in the season, but they're getting great production from the right people, and it's an organization that understands winning, and I do believe it's contagious. You know how to win, know how to lose. Look at some of the teams that lose on a weekly basis. They find ways to do it. The 49ers, depth-wise and getting backups to elevate their game has happened for them this year.
Sean, what, and I know it's tough to put a number on it, but just speak in general, how much can good coaching, good culture, and vibes raise talent level? Does that make sense?
Yeah, enormous. It's like people always tell me, well, give me traits of a quarterback. Now, you're not actually playing for the right guard, but there's this feeling of, I talked to a receiver one time who played for, I'll leave his name out, played with Peyton Manning. And I said, what was it like first time you got in the building? He goes, I didn't want to disappoint him. He was afraid to disappoint him. It was before he even played a snap. He said, and what he did by doing that, stay a little after. You show a little after. You spend a little more time doing lonely work. Oh, man, the practice has ended. I'm not sprinting into the locker room, into the shower. Peyton wanted to stay out 15 more minutes. You ain't telling Peyton Manning no. And not only was a young guy, but Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne. They're staying extra because you don't want to disappoint that guy. And it's not just him, but I always say that quarterbacks can take a good ones. Brady can take a former lacrosse player, Chris Hogan, and turn him into a viable player. Not that the guy didn't have talent, but he raises the expectations because he expects them to do better. So they say, I'm not going to disappoint him. It does happen. And it's like the coach is no different. Listen, when Liam Cohen got the job in Jacksonville, came in going Duval, I'm thinking, oh, no, not another cheesy head coach. What are we going to do here? Good offensive guy, been around Sean McVay, comes from that same tree that a lot of these coaches come from. And all of a sudden, they keep winning. They're finding ways to win. And they had Doug Peterson, and we thought automatic, this is a team that's going to be a Super Bowl candidate with a great quarterback. Well, this guy's got him 4-1. And even though we think it's cheesy, they're buying in. So the right guard's elevating his play. Lawrence is a little more comfortable for whatever reason. It's not to dog the other guys before him. It's just to say some guys do. And I do believe it. I watched DeMeco Ryans bring that 49er culture here. They've won 2 division championships in a row, and they didn't start well, but their defense is one of the best in the league. Why? Because of what he's teaching, how to tackle simple things that permeate. And I've been on teams where I've been around players that my play's elevated. You know, just the example of even a guy I didn't play with but played against. And I know we had this joke of a conversation. But whenever I played against Elway, he brought out my best. I wish I'd have played against him more because I didn't want him looking across and say, man, I can't believe it. Honestly, regardless of what everybody else felt about it, it elevated my play. And when Warren Moon was in our building, people just expected to do extra. And Warren would hang out after practice and make sure a rookie receiver got extra work in, and he'd throw it to him. it does matter. And it does. It's not just the quarterback, but the coach and front office. Culture is everything. We overuse great too often. But there are times when we don't use culture enough, and it does matter. You can look around at successful franchises, and they created it. We're going to do it this way. We'll be flexible when necessary. But here's how we do Andy Reid in Kansas City. You go in there, there's expectations. And if you don't live up to them, then you'll go play somewhere else. It's pretty simple, and I like that. And the 49ers have created that.
You know, Sean, you had different spots where you were a starter, you've been a backup. What's the challenge of being like Mac Jones now, where you were once drafted high, you were a franchise guy, then you bounced to another organization, now you're to a third organization, and you're good enough probably to be a starter, but in the pecking order, you're not with the Niners, but you're called on and he's produced. What's that challenge like on a week-to-week? Maybe you're playing, maybe you're not knowing how to do all that.
No, it's a big challenge, but the first thing you got to do is take ego and pride out of it. Man, I'm a starter in this league. I should be a starter. Now, you want to prepare like one, but listen, it's a kick in the teeth because Mac's playing well enough. I mean, come on, look around the league. He's a starter. But also, it helps to have good players around you because then you elevate. There's a little more trust not only in you, but your trust in them that they're going to do it. And then when you come and do it quickly and fit in and work, because when you do get your chance, you don't want to blow it. You want to make sure you're doing those things. And it goes back to what I said earlier about lonely work. You want to make sure because you're not going to get the reps as a backup. So while you're waiting for the opportunity, we always hear play like, I always say this, train like a backup, that you want the job. And when you get in, play like a starter. But you're not getting the reps as a backup. And all of a sudden somebody says, hey, by the way, he's hurt. Can you come in and play? And then you've got to say, well, man, have you been prepared? Have you been doing the other stuff, the extra stuff to stay as sharp as you can? It's still not getting out there in 11 on 11 on a Sunday, but you got to stay as sharp as you can. The number one thing for me is it's easy. I talked to a quarterback a handful of years ago, a guy I played against in college and knew very well. He got drafted. He was a second-round draft pick, quarterback, two quarterbacks in front of him, didn't prepare. He said, Sean, I didn't prepare as a rookie. I wasn't going to play two veteran good players. Both got hurt. So about a quarter of the way through the season, he was a starter. And he said the first thing, he goes, I didn't have any idea what I was doing. And it woke him up. He ended up being a good player and had a good career. But so you don't want to be that guy. And when you're going to a new environment and you're the backup, you're like, okay, take ego out of it, but not enough ego that says I can't play. You don't want to let the world say, well, that guy's a backup. He doesn't belong winning games. You really got to dive deep into yourself and your teammates and immerse yourself into not only winning them over with performance, but with showing them work. And while you're showing them work, actually putting that work in. I would imagine Mac Jones goes home at night and does a little extra work. And as a backup, you had to do extra work. And you got to be cut a little different. As a guy if you start as a backup, you got to be cut a little different thinking, you know what, I don't need a lot of work. I'm going to make sure I drive this bus properly for the team when I get in there, that they can trust me to win games, not just not lose them. I hate that message. Just don't lose it for us. Horrible message. Go in there and win it for us. You're on salary. We expect you may not be making as much as the other guy, but we expect you to go win it. And I think Mac Jones went in with the attitude that I'm a starter, but not here. I'm going to support the guy, but I'm going to immerse myself into doing it. When my opportunity comes, don't blow it, because as a starter, you get more opportunities to blow it than you do as a backup, because we'll think that, well, you just didn't prepare. You didn't take it seriously enough. Mac Jones is taking it seriously. It's a challenge, but it's also awfully rewarding to rejuvenate your career with a good team when a lot of teams, quite frankly, quit on you. And it's rewarding and fulfilling, no doubt about it. But the number one fulfillment is win column and taking care of it, because then if you go back to the bench, nobody's afraid to put you back in,
right,
and you've carved out another niche for your career.
Rewarding and fulfilling. Sounds like every visit we have with Sean Salisbury each and every Tuesday, right around 8:10. Appreciate you, my man, and have yourself a wonderful week and weekend.
Appreciate you guys, too. Thanks for always having me on. We'll talk to you.
Thank you.
Take care. We'll take a break. When we come back, 4 Down Territory, the real power rankings, not those lame ones ESPN does.